Hi, my name's Rory and welcome to the interview mastery process. The interview process absolutely fascinates me. Formal interviews can feel really awkward and unnatural, and when I interview people, I often ask for what I call a fireside chat. A coffee or a casual meeting, which is really an informal way of me still going through the 4 C's of the selection process. And I'm really focusing in on the culture of how well they might fit into the organisation and how passionate or committed they are. The things that don't come across really easily on paper or in a resume. If you've ever seen the Australian film The Castle, they talk about it as the vibe. And although there it's used as humour, there's a lot of truth and value in just sitting down with somebody and getting the vibe as to whether or not you think they could work and fit into your workplace. What really interests me though about the whole interview process is when it goes wrong. People who interview really well, but ultimately when they get into the job aren't that good. And the other side of that, people who interview pretty badly, but when they get given the job, they're great. My real job, my daytime job, is designing selection processes for teams. Large teams that are assembled to construct things. And one of the biggest challenges I have is getting people during the interview and selection process to actually be themselves. The project owner knows what skill sets and attributes are required for the job. So all we really need to do is just see the people act as themselves so that we know that on the job that's how they'll behave and not in some artificial way that they've performed an interview. The individuals who tend to do well are often likeable, or at least they're not unlikable. Unlikable people rarely get selected. In another video I'll talk about the power of likability as it's a whole new and important conversation. But as well as being likeable, successful candidates have 3 things. Generally a really good understanding of what's needed on a specific job. They've done their homework and are pretty good at matching their skills and experience to those things that we're looking for on the job. And ultimately they're good storytellers. It's really important they package up their answers into bite-sized sound bites that really powerfully describe why they think they'd be great at working on this job or this project. When I'm not on the selection side of the table, people ask me to prepare them for interview. And because I sit through a lot of these things, I tend to know what works and also what doesn't. And that's where this whole interview mastery process was born. I needed something that would help me coach people through the 5 main steps of being good at interview. Those being obviously creating a good resume, doing the appropriate research into the company and the job, matching their skills and competencies with what they think the person putting the job up is looking for, building those stories I spoke about, and then ultimately the interview performance itself. So that's what this whole series of videos is all about. It's intended to be a series of easy and relatively quick steps that you can take to improve how you come across at the interview. I'll try and keep the videos short as I've got a short attention span, but I'll also provide some links and templates and some other preparation materials that you can use if you want to prepare for a specific interview. And also while I'm doing the videos, I'll try and explain a little bit about the selection process from the other side of the table, from the employer's side, because it's vital in understanding what you need to prepare for and what they're looking for in the elusive perfect candidate. In the next video I'll explain about the 4 C's of selection I mentioned in the intro. And if you're interested in improving how you perform at interview, then join with me and let's run through the interview mastery process.